That leaves Gambit, Blade, Elektra, Drunk Wolverine, and Deadpool, and X-23 Laura. I think right there we have 6 Anarchy Avengers. We know one of them is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. I think the other 5 will as well. We were all expecting to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on those set chairs.
Once you sign on for Deadpool and Wolverine, you sign back up for at least 1 or 2 more movies.
This is your chance to show us like the X-Men relationships that we've always wanted to see. All we need is just like one quick scene of it to get your cheer. Come on, Wanda's attorney network out there, your Agatha stands. Unite! Assemble! We can make this happen! Welcome back to New Rockstars! Will the lineup of Avengers Doomsday include the Anarchy Avengers? Remember them from the Deadpool and Wolverine marketing? Well, Ryan Reynolds seems to think so, even though most of them are dead. But you know what that means? Room for tryouts.
This is the sneak peek where we talk about the future of fandom here at New Rockstars with your hosts, me, Jessica Clemons, and Erik Voss.
Hi, Jess. Good to have you back. How was watching Wednesday?
Oh, Wednesday was fun. It was very quick, actually, because it's only 4 episodes. I will say that's the only bonus to this weird schedule of weird drop dates that now Netflix is following. It's only 4 episodes, so it's very quick.
Manageable for sure. Well, you did a great job breaking them down. It seems like a lot of people are watching that on Netflix right now. So if you're one of them, or if your son or daughter are one of them, send them over to New Rockstars. Jessica covered all of the Easter eggs that were in this episode.
And there are a ton of Easter eggs. It's weird how many Easter eggs they placed in there. There's so many Shakespeare, weird Shakespeare Easter eggs, but also Easter eggs to like characters that are coming in part 2 that we don't really get to see yet, like Lady Gaga.
Whoa. And I think the second batch is dropping September 3rd.
Yeah, September 3rd.
All right. So we're excited for all of that. In this episode of The Sneak Peek, we're going to talk about this weird post by Ryan Reynolds on his Instagram, Van City Reynolds, on August 12th. And it's the Avengers logo with the Anarchy A over it. And this may remind you of the Anarchy Avengers. There was like a social media post ahead of Deadpool and Wolverine that he posted showing a flag, a blue flag of the Avengers A logo with the Anarchy symbol over it. We thought it was going to be a much bigger deal in the movie, but that was just a flag that was carried from the mag truck of the followers of Cassandra Nova that included Toad, Pyro, Sabretooth, and a bunch of others. We barely even saw it in the final cut of Deadpool and Wolverine, but it is there. It is part of the story. However, most of the lineup is dead now. A lot of us are wondering why Ryan Reynolds posted this, what this meant. There is a rumor that maybe on August 27th of this month, they might announce the rest of the cast of Avengers Doomsday. That has not been confirmed by Marvel Studios. That's a Wednesday. We'll see. Maybe you're watching this episode of The Sneak Peek or listening to it after August 27th, and you'll know if that's true or not. Hopefully it is. I'd love to get more information about that movie. But a lot of people are now speculating that this is like a clue that Deadpool and Wolverine might be joining Gambit as all these characters show up in Avengers Doomsday. And we actually got a further update from The Hollywood Reporter on Friday that after Ryan Reynolds posted this social media thing about the Anarchy Avengers, they followed up with sources close to production or close to Ryan Reynolds. And our friends Boris Kitt and Aaron Couch in their Heat Vision newsletter said, quote, sources tell Heat Vision that yes, Deadpool will appear in Avengers Doomsday. Don't expect him to actually be joining the Avengers team, though. So it now begs the question, if he's not part of the Avengers team, what lineup will he be part of and who else will be on that lineup? But now it's officially happening. Ryan Reynolds is the next set chair of the Doomsday lineup. What do you think, Jess?
It wouldn't be the universe that originally our new Wolverine came from, right? Because most of those people are dead.
Yeah, so we don't know what number of universe he came from. We just know him as Drunk Wolverine. But
he talked about some people being dead, but I don't remember if it's exactly the same people that are going to be featured in Doomsday.
Right, yeah. I don't think Drunk Wolverine came from 10005. Okay. He's now in that universe, though, at a different point of time with Deadpool and X-23 Laura. They're all sitting around the table with, Deadpool and Blind Owl and Dopinder and all of them. At the end of that movie, we think that's before the events, like 5 years before the events of Logan, where they're all dead now. So at some point, we're going to see, like, the X-Men in their heyday. And in fact, there was a photo of Alan Cumming that he posted on his social media showing like what's going to be part of his props and costumes, including his fanged teeth. And what's really funny about this is like the people who are working behind the scenes on Avengers Doomsday had like these two images of Confidential and Waste. And the Waste image shows like Nightcrawler from the X-Men animated series with the red vest. And then the Confidential part is what looks like a lot of people were like, oh my God, is this official concept art of Alan Cumming? Is this how he's going to look in Avengers Doomsday? And then My Time to Shine, Hello, hiya! And a lot of others posted that this is just fan art that someone posted on their own like thing. So this is just someone mocked this up about Alan Cumming, how he might look with the red vest. So they just pulled that off of Google Images.
Which makes sense.
It's not anything official.
This sheet for a box is probably made by a PA that just grabbed like the first thing on Google Images.
Yes.
And again, to their play devil's advocate, they're not expecting everything to be found by us.
Right. Yeah. And they did not make that for like marketing or anything like that. That was just internally around the office. And as a former PA myself, you print off all kinds of random goofy bullshit that's all inside
100.
jokes with other PAs, and it's just kind of your internal messaging communication. And it's not meant to be official art that goes out there.
I'm surprised it just doesn't have like a watermark, honestly.
Yeah.
I wonder if that guy's like, oh, my art.
Yeah.
My art. I'd be like, oh, it's on Alan Cummings' Instagram page.
Wasn't there something where Kevin Feige wore a hat at some point or on the back? And it's like, there's some artist who's like, that's my logo that I made of Deadpool and Wolverine with like their circular faces. I whipped that up on Photoshop.
That's crazy.
And someone who works at Marvel just printed it out and put it on the hat for Kevin Feige.
That's crazy because that's like stealing. But this, I'd be like, I'm straight up like, ooh, that's my little art. That's my doodle on that trash can.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think they put it out for sale or anything like that. They just printed it out for, Kevin Feige always needs to have a hat.
You still can't. I don't know if you get, I don't know when this is the part of legal I don't know, but I also don't think he can technically just print something on a hat and just wear it like that. I think
if you're a public figure, you have to be careful though. Because
no, he has to be.
You're the head of the studio.
Yeah, and also you're a walking like commercial,
right?
Basically.
Yeah, that's right. Every word out of Kevin Feige's mouth is marketing for the studio. But But I think either way, I won't be surprised if the X-Men in this movie have the looks of like a live action version of the animated series. And I'm just getting that based off of Kelsey Grammer's appearance as Beast. Oh, yeah. Like he looked like a live action version of Beast from the X-Men animated series. So I'm just applying that logic to Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Cyclops. We don't know though yet if Wolverine and Deadpool are going to be in it. So I think Ryan Reynolds' post here is kind of a clue that like the people who you saw in The Void and Deadpool and Wolverine might be on the lineup here. And it makes sense if this movie is going to be set in The Void partially, as we saw it in Deadpool and Wolverine. Characters
and Channing
were alive.
Tatum was still on that chair, right?
Yeah, Channing Tatum is confirmed.
Sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I would not be. Well, that'd be interesting if they do bring Wesley Snipes and
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner. I almost said Jennifer Garnett, and I should have said it because then I still would have sounded like I knew what her name was. I wonder if those two will come back, but. I think I'm honestly satisfied enough if it's him, Wolverine, Channing Tatum, and X-23.
Yeah. So just to remind people who were part of the Anarchy Avengers and who might be part of the new lineup. So this group name, Anarchy Avengers, was really like a pseudonym that was never said out loud in the movie, but it's kind of like the loose term, the pseudonym of the fighters in the Void who served Cassandra Nova. And they included John Allardyce, a.k.a. Pyro. He's deceased. Victor Creed Sabretooth, decapitated. Mortimer Toynbee, Toad, dead as of the post-credit scene, deleted scene where you see him dead on the ground. Kane Marco Juggernaut, he was killed in this movie. Betsy Braddock Psylocke, also killed. Azazel, also killed. Callisto, also killed. Yuriko Oyama, Lady Deathstrike. We don't know what happened to her. She could still be out there somewhere. Philippa Sontag, Arclight, which a lot of these characters, we only figured this out after the fact from like the stunt actor's social media that they posted. But she was also killed in this movie. Fred Dukes Blob, aka the gatekeeper at the top of the post, the lookout post.
I don't remember this person.
You don't, because like he doesn't have a line in the movie, but Ryan Reynolds would post on his social media later, I loved working with this actor. He's our Fred Dukes of this movie. That character died in the movie, and then the character Quill also killed in the final battle of this movie. So, but that leaves Gambit, Blade, Elektra, and then outside of the Void in Universe 10005, Drunk Wolverine and Deadpool and X-23 Laura. I think right there we have 6 Anarchy Avengers. We know one of them is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. I think the other 5 will as well. Just because they're fighters in the void. If we're going to see the origins of Battle World, it makes sense for those 5 to just show up for at least part of it.
If they don't get all of them, I also just see the joke of this being when all of them are there. One team goes, I'm the Avengers. And they go, no, you're the new Avengers. We're the Avengers. And he goes, well, we are the Anarchy Avengers. Who's on my side? And he's going to point to people. I think that's also just what Deadpool's going to end up doing. I don't think it's going to be necessarily people from Deadpool Wolverine. I would love for you to bring in Colossus. I just don't think we have the budget for Colossus with all the people that we already have to VFX already. But I think he's going to try making a team out of people there. Because that's also how he is in the comics, is just more of a nuisance. So he's just going to constantly repeat and be like, hey, do you want to be on my team? And She-Hulk's going to be like, no, I don't want to be on your team.
There were some other members who were part of like Blade and Elektra's group that were referenced, like Johnny Storm, Human Torch. He was part of that group until he got killed, got his skin ripped off in that movie. He also referenced Reed Richards' description of the Void, which implies that like it was the Yohan Griffith Reed Richards from that universe who was either talking about it in the abstract, or that maybe that Reed got pruned down there with him. And I think the implication of it is that everyone from these Fox era movies, their universes got pruned out of existence and got sent down here. So yeah, I think somewhere down there is like the remains of that Johnny Stormer, that maybe he's somewhere else down there. So he could end up being part of this group. But we know that Dead includes Charles Xavier and Professor X of that universe, because you know Cassandra Nova bragged about it, or they referenced them being there. She's sitting on Thanos' throne, so I assume that there was a Thanos who was pruned down there that she killed. She brags about killing a Doctor Strange. That's how she got the sling ring. And then obviously her compound is in the corpse of a giant Scott Lang. So there was a giant man, Scott Lang, that was sent down there. The Daredevil, the Ben Affleck Daredevil. You know, they reference. And then there's also the statue of the Scarlet Witch that's in their hideout. So I assume that there's like a Scarlet Witch who, I don't know if Cassandra Nova could beat her. Cassandra Nova's super powerful, but like Wanda can erase people's mouths. So do you think Wanda is still alive down there, and could she show up as part of the Anarchy Avengers?
I also just think there could have been a Wanda that died in a universe, and then they pruned that universe, and she was a god in that universe. And not simply a god, but treated like a god figure. If she took over that universe, because Wanda's powerful enough to do that. Because I also kind of believe going up against Chaos, Wanda would probably be really hard to do. But that's the thing about the Void, is suspend disbelief. There's literally ships there. There's so many different parts of history even there that didn't include anyone that was attached to the ships. So I could see them taking in just Wanda's statue from a universe where Wanda was a leader or something.
The last time we saw that statue was in the 616 universe in Multiverse of Madness on the top of Mount Woundagore. There's plenty of ways you can get Wanda in this movie. There was a separate Wanda with Billy and Tommy in the 838 universe, just living her life. There's a million Wandas. There's also, I mean, I think the coolest way you could do it is like when we get to the X Mansion in 10005, where Beast and Monica Rambeau are. You have just a normal Scarlet Witch who's with that group. And I mean, then you could just have Elizabeth Olsen just living with those X-Men. I mean, and she's kind of often depicted as part of Magneto's group. But like, I don't know, there's plenty of X-Men comics where she's just kind of like with all of them.
I don't think there's a problem putting her with Magneto's group.
Oh, sure.
Because it's also, I don't think it's a scene we're going to get the entire time. It's just a quick scene. And to just have Wanda be able to play her more comic accurate background would just be fun to see Elizabeth Olsen get to do. I
mean, imagine the cheer we get, because we know that like Ian McKellen is playing Magneto in this movie. Imagine the cheer. We're in the X Mansion. It's in a room with like Charles sitting in his wheelchair with the green blazer and the blanket. He's sitting by the fire and he goes, Erik, I don't know if I have another fight in me. And he looks over his shoulder and Ian McKellen's just at the window with his badass cape and his helmet. And he goes, I agree, Charles. This fight, it might be too much for us. But what do you think, daughter? And then the camera pans and Lizzie Olsen's right there. And she goes, don't drag me into this, Dad.
I don't want to do this.
She's a brat. She's like, I don't want
I
to.
don't want it. She's in the full outfit. She's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
I don't fucking care
Oh
about these
God, I would
stupid
love
ass
that.
incursions.
I would love that. I still want Wanda to be like a huge part of it, but I would not knock her being still related to like Magneto in this universe because she can be.
Yeah.
This is a different universe. They could give us that fan service that we were like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Bring Elizabeth Olsen as her comic part. Like, that'd be so fun.
In the 616 universe, her parents are Oleg and Irina Maximov. Different universe, but in 1005, let's just do it.
She's straight up, she was raised by the cow. She was raised by the cow. What was the cow's name?
Bova. Bova was part of it.
She was raised by Bova. That we have. Just give
there.
us that story a little bit. I guess you don't need to bring back Quicksilver. I think that's fine.
Just cut to Bova and Rintrah just like.
Sorry, I had to scream away from the microphone.
Come on. I'm talking about not something gross or raunchy, just like a beautiful,
impossible.
James Cameron Terminator 1 love scene.
She's literally a cow.
And Rintrah is a bull. And what do bulls do?
I don't want to watch a bull and a cow bang.
But it's loving.
Wanda's like, I'll leave you two alone.
I'm not talking MacGruber in the cemetery.
I don't think there's a lovely aspect to a bull and a cow banging.
I think it could be very sweet.
I think farmers naturally think it's sweet. I think people that take care of bulls and cows think they're sweet. I think it's a little too aggressive.
You don't have to be lonely, cow.
Oh, you don't have to be lonely, cow.
That would be very weird. I don't know why my brain went there, and I'm really sorry. I'm just trying to think other fun things to cut to in the 1005 universe, and obviously at the top of that list is a confirmation that Wanda is Magneto's daughter. Somewhere near the bottom is Rintrah and Bova love scene.
Oh my God.
But a dead Sentinel on the grounds of the X-Mansion, we're probably going to see a bit of that. And I think this is your chance to show us like the X-Men relationships that we've always wanted to see. All we need is just like one quick scene of it to get your cheer. And that's something that can be shot on an interior set. Yeah. You could shoot it on a closed set, soundstage, skeleton crew. Just get Lizzie Olsen a plane ticket to London. We'll even crowdfund it. Come on, Wanda's attorney network out there. Your Agatha stands. Unite. Assemble. We can make this happen.
I'd rather have that Wanda than just like that poor mom Wanda that was getting her sons taken from her when Wanda was controlling her in Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want just a random, like, this poor woman pulled out of, like, her bank job.
She's having a rough day. The Sue Storm, played by Emily Blunt in that universe, is just, like, following her around and, like, carving stuff into her car. She's like, you killed my husband.
My husband.
I was possessed by one of my variants. She goes, I don't believe it.
And then she disappears. And she like makes herself disappear. She's like, this woman keeps coming to my house and spray painting things on my garage. She called me a whore in the mirror with red lipstick. I hope you guys have seen Black Swan, or else you won't get the reference.
Just cut to Lizzie Olsen, just like
she's going to Elizabeth Olsen alone. She would have ate up that role. Natalie Portman, you did a great job, but Elizabeth Olsen would have also been a great Black Swan.
And then Franklin and Valeria of that universe are just bullying the shit out of Billy and Tommy at whatever school. Like, your mom killed our dad. And Billy and Tommy is like, we're just trying to eat ice cream.
That'd be crazy if Franklin, they're just straight up like, you don't have a dad.
They're like, we don't either. Daddy Vision isn't in the picture.
I'd be like, that's a robot. That's not a father.
He was our dad.
He will never love you. He's not programmed to. That'd be crazy. That'd be nuts.
It hurts to laugh because I broke a rib last weekend. But you are making me laugh.
Dummy.
So I was stupid. Don't water ski when you're 37.
Why would you do that? I wouldn't do that at like 30.
Because I could last time, and
that's crazy.
And I even got up this time, but there was some kelp on the ski rope, and I was like, oh, I need to get that off.
I don't think that's
And I reached for it to grab it, and I lost whatever.
I don't think that's a sport you can just jump back into.
I thought you could.
It feels like a sport. Jet skiing is like a sport you can jump back into.
Jet skiing's not a sport. It's a mode of transportation.
It is a sport if you live out here in Long Beach.
Is it? Okay, I didn't know that.
There's a competition where they go from Long Beach to Catalina Island and back, and they're racing
that sounds
as fast.
Cool.
No, because it sounds dangerous. What if there's someone just out there? Because it's about speed. They have to go the fastest and back, and whoever comes back the quickest wins.
I think the waters between Long Beach and Catalina are like choppy.
Oh.
And this is like jet moto if you're going off the course.
I thought it was just like a little lake or something.
Or it's like Crash Team. What's it called in Crash Bandicoot 3? Warped, when you're in the Coco levels and it's like the Pirates Cove. Some of those waves, it's some of the most frustrating levels because the waves are like translucent and your spatial awareness is all off, so you can't even see like how far away the box is or if it's slightly underwater. Hate those levels.
The 10% of people here that played Crash Bandicoot,
they know what I'm talking about. That and the plane levels, how it's just so slow. Hate it. Overall, great game though. So any final thoughts about how likely I think it's just like we were all expecting to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on those set chairs.
I just don't think Hugh Jackman's gonna do it.
Oh, I think he will.
I think he should. I think he 100% should. There is no in the most respectful way, Hugh Jackman, once you signed on for Deadpool and Wolverine, you signed back up.
Yeah.
You signed back up for at least 1 or 2 more movies. So you gotta come back as a pair for this. But I would not be surprised if he doesn't. I guess that's where I'm at. I'm like, if it just shows up as Ryan Reynolds, even if they give us Wesley Snipes. Sorry. In the most respectful name, that seeing Wesley Snipes on the
Wesley's gonna come after you if you laugh when you say his name like that.
Whatever.
No, he won't come after you, but he will hand you a Post-it note with his real thoughts and walk away.
Oh, yeah. Please do Wesley Snipes. We're gonna see Wesley Snipes, but if we don't see it, I would not be surprised. But if we do get them together, they are Team Anarchy. They are absolutely like the leaders. Deadpool's gonna force the name on Wolverine, but they're Team Anarchy for sure.
So if that is the lineup, which team do you like the best? Team Avengers with Sam Wilson, with Falcon, probably Thor, Bruce Banner, Shang-Chi, maybe Black Panther Shuri. That's one group. Then you have the new Avengers, the Thunderbolts, with Bob and, John Walker and Yelena and all them. Or the Anarchy Avengers. We have 3 Avengers teams. Who do you think is the deadliest? And who do you think's the one you want to get the drink with the most?
It's not fair because they just have Sentry. That is the dangerous one.
Yeah, they're probably the deadliest.
That is like, it's not fair because that's like unruly.
Yeah.
That one needs to be nerfed a little bit. And I think the nerfing is just never coming back.
And just make him Bob instead of
Sentry.
Sentry.
If he's just Bob, I think the deadliest would probably still be Anarchy. Because they also have the pleasure of being able to regenerate.
Yeah, which is with Deadpool and Wolverine, you'll never kill them.
They're good fighters.
Yeah.
They're good fighters. Ooh, that scene with every time they fought, I was like, oh yeah, they're better at fighting than a lot of the people in the MCU currently.
Then they're variants,
Yeah, and they're great. They're too good. And also to get a drink with, the Anarchy Avengers. I'm more excited for them just because it's also a new team, but it seems like that one will lean the most towards mutants, and I will have a fun time.
Yeah. My thinking is we will have everyone on the call sheet for Avengers Doomsday who we know. And the way you make Secret Wars top that is new characters in Secret Wars. Like we'll be in Battle World, we'll see a new Wakanda, a new New York, a new Asgard, a new Hulk village with recasted mutants and recasted other characters. But it'll be actors that we know, some new faces. But that's how we'll get new faces in the MCU is in Secret Wars mixing in with a lot of these other characters. But I think Doomsday is going to be the event where they get all the returning people.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean Toby and Andrew? I don't know. I think that might be a step too far.
Yeah.
But maybe you see them in like a Spider New York in Secret Wars.
I can see that. It's going to be interesting to see which ones they choose as the ones that get to stay.
Now, if you slow down what Jess said, you can hear an entire reading of Homer's The Iliad.
Oh my God, which is insane.
Yeah, she got through all of it.
Then you got to play it and reverse it, and then you'll hear me praising Satan.
But spoilers for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Oh yeah,
just warning
I hope you guys
that.
aren't ready for that. Yeah. I've been posting TikToks of them at Universal's lot on the boat. Have you not been in those TikToks?
John referenced them recently.
Have you not been seeing these? I keep getting them. There's someone in their apartment, like in the hill, like where Universal is a lot. So someone's just living in houses, and they're like, "Oh, they're shooting outside my house," and it's the giant boat and a giant thing of water, and they have the giant lights underneath or above doing lightning, and they're shaking the waves, and you can see the people like acting on the ship.
Cool.
And I'm like, girl, hide. they're gonna make you take that. Christopher Nolan's team are gonna be like, take that down.
Yeah, the Universal lot in LA borders like a ton of apartments and housing that are just up on the hills. So when you're driving down, what's the name of the street with a B?
It's I know what you're talking about too. I almost said Borax.
It's Borax
No,
Street.
it's not Borax, but it's something like that. I know what you're talking about though.
It's the B Street that curves through Burbank. It's the first exit off of the 101. That takes you into Burbank. There's all kinds of housing there that borders the Universal lot, and if you live high enough on the hill, you can easily look down into the Universal lot. I lived in an apartment in NoHo for a while where I would look at my window and the Minion from Universal would always be staring back at us, and my wife and I would always say prayers to the Minion because it was as big of a god, and it would watch over us.
Some would say the Minions are gods.
And nothing bad happened to us while we lived there. Interestingly.
So it was because you were being overwatched by the Minions?
Yeah.
All hail the Minions.
And every morning we'd eat a banana. Well, okay, so let us know in the comments below if you think Ryan Reynolds is for sure saying that he's going to be in Avengers
There's
Doomsday.
no way he's not. You can't tease us like that and not me, unless he's coming out with his own movie that is called The Anarchy Avengers.
Yeah, but they don't have time to do that. They're pouring all their money into Doomsday. They need it to make $4 billion. Next week on New Rockstars, the coming week, we're now looking ahead at Peacemaker Season 2. We're very excited for it. So we're hoping to have like a recap video that breaks down all of Season 1 here on the New Rockstars channel. And then, we'll be covering Peacemaker Season 2. I don't know how much coverage we'll be doing of Alien Earth. As of this taping, FX is not giving us press screeners for it. So that just kind of limits how much coverage we can do for it. But I really love the show. And I hope to cover it more. But yeah, that's all we have to report. Any big Spider-Man news we'll be covering here on New Rockstars as well. But let's end this episode of Sneak Peek with what we're watching.
I am going down like a list of movies that I just have never seen. Funny enough, not trying to toot my own horn. I've seen a lot of movies, but there's some that slipped through the cracks, and a lot of them were during my college time when I was just too busy. And one of them is Love and Mercy, the Brian Wilson like biopic starring Paul Dano and Elizabeth Banks and John Cusack and Paul Giamatti. And I really like that biopic a lot. And the reason why I like that biopic, I talked about this on Break Room a little bit. The reason why I love that biopic is because it shows the process of him coming up with music. And a lot of biopics just don't do that anymore. They like to talk about more of the drama that happened for the stars. And I'm like, you can do that, but I would also love to see their process. And Brian Wilson, like, yeah, he's like unwell, but that man coming up with every instrument in his head and being like, well, on paper, let me just put it down. He chose every instrument to make. The Pet Sounds is probably one of my favorite albums. I really do like the Beach Boys, and Pet Sounds is my favorite. And
I didn't know that about you, that you like the Beach Boys.
I love the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys. It's also, I think my love for the Beach Boys started because as like children at like elementary parties, they're playing like like they were those were just like easy to play at elementary little fun shenanigan parts. And then I just explored more, and I love the Beach Boys. And I know a lot about what happened with Brian Wilson, but I didn't know to the extent. Like I didn't know a lot about actually the Dr. Eugene Landy thing because I just didn't. And then watching the biopic, I was like, oh, this wasn't that long ago.
No, yeah.
This wasn't that long ago, and this is so dangerous. Yeah. I don't like doctors in Los Angeles.
There are a lot of interesting stories about bad medical advice. Yeah. I mean, Michael Jackson's doctor is another.
There's a lot of doctors that it sounds crazy because we're from places where doctors shouldn't be acting like this. But in Hollywood, a lot of doctors are willing to like give you prescription for money. So it's like there's a lot of people that like abuse like for a weird
prescription for money. Sign me up.
Sign me. I'll take 2. Yeah.
No,
but there's a lot of people that there's a lot of people in like especially in the rap community that got really into laughing gas and like dental hygienists or whatever were selling it to people in canisters and was like, yeah, I can sell it to you off over here for like $20K, and people would. And I was like, that's crazy. I thought there would be an illegal part to this, and there is. It just is easy to escape that illegal part. But anyways, great biopic. I think everyone should watch it, especially if you're looking for biopics that actually explore their process.
Yeah. That whole era, I took like a rock and roll history class in college for whatever reason. I think the dean of our journalism college wrote like a rock and roll anthology. So he just had two classes are like rock and roll history part 1 and part 2, even though they have nothing to do with journalism. But he did touch on like some really great like Rolling Stone journalists who wrote some amazing pieces, but learned all about the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson's process. And I love like God Only Knows was a song Kelly and I danced to at our wedding. It's like one of my favorite songs.
That's the song.
It's so good. It's so heartbreaking and sad.
It's the song.
But yeah, interesting. I think, was it Mike Love who had the crossover with the Manson family?
Was it Mike Love?
I don't
was
know.
It Mike Love? I could see it being Mike Love just because Mike Love was the biggest asshole. So
he is, yes.
So like him being the one, I wouldn't be surprised. I thought it was Brian Wilson.
Mike Love is the one who showed up in Full House.
Yes.
Wasn't Brian Wilson.
I thought he just hated Brian Wilson. See, this is how
there's a lot of drama. Yeah.
Okay.
But one of the Beach Boys almost got killed by the Manson family. You can find all this history. And I always wanted that to be like a prelude part of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because basically after that Beach Boys manager kicked them out of his like Malibu house is why they started to go into different parts of Hollywood to find other victims. Insane.
I don't know if this is true at all, but I have a lot of faith that it is Michael.
Could be. Dodged a bullet. Insane shit. I can't wait to see the next Cliff Booth movie that Fincher's directing. That Tarantino.
I hope.
It's gonna be
I wish they would have included the Beach Boys in that. It would have been, because also his version of what the Beach Boys would have looked like. That would have been so fun. That would have been so fucking fun. Oh, sorry.
So good. What am I watching? Yes, Survivor. Yes, I'm in season 38. Just finished the really, really good season 37. Season 38's not that good. And, some of these seasons,
I feel like you
Kelly
say that
and I are
every
just
week.
like going through it. Then we got season 39. I think I will only have finished season 40 by the time season 49 happens.
Damn.
But my hope is that after season 49, I'll be able to, or maybe on like the off weeks, because we're only gonna have one episode a week. Maybe I'll be able to catch up with other. Like, can I watch 2 different seasons of Survivor at the same time?
Can you just jump to 49, then when it's over, go back to 41?
That's what we'll probably end up doing. But I'm thinking is like, we'll have one episode of season 49, episode 1. And then I think on the weekend, I'll be like, all right, you can go back to season 41.
That's a lot of Survivor.
Because we've gotten through a full season Survivor in a weekend before.
That's crazy.
We've had very lazy weekends.
How many episodes are in Survivor?
Well, they start getting shorter as of season 41. You start getting to like 12, 13 episodes. So that's very doable. But they're
still an hour.
They're 43 minutes. And you skip the intro. We fast forward through the family episodes. So whenever they bring in you're fighting for love. It's so weird the way Jeff Probst says it. You are competing for love. He always says it like that. Love.
Is Jeff Probst a bachelor?
Are you interested?
No.
I don't know his current romantic status. I know he has dated contestants of Survivor before.
He hasn't.
Oh, yes,
no,
he has.
he has not.
Yes, he has.
No, he can't do that. That's not fair. As though that works.
It's a little weird because certain contestants get invited back. So if anything, if you date Probst, there's no way you'll get invited back. So you shouldn't date Jeff Probst because you'll never get to compete on Survivor.
I guess I'd feel like, were you checking me out when I was pooping in the ocean?
He has access to all the footage.
All
the footage.
Also, I wonder if it makes you unattractive to see how you play the game. Does that make sense?
Oh, just see how deceitful you could be?
Yeah, that, or just like, why did you come for that old lady like that? I would be
you really chewed out that old lady.
I was into you at first, but then I saw you throw a coconut.
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know if he's currently single though or not. We'll find out. We will find out.
We will find out, Jeff Pro.
We'll do a future episode.
He's like, I'll stop you there. I am single. And I am interested.
And I watch every episode of the Sneak Peek.
I can't wait till he gets on this show.
We'll get him on New Rockstars. I'm confident. We've had other contestants on Survivor reach out to us.
That's so funny. I'm down.
It's just amazing that this is happening. I'm so happy. All right. Well, let us know what you've been watching down in the comments below. You can follow Jessica at Lulu_Clemons. You can follow me at EA Voss, and please subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars Network. But hey, you may have noticed I'm wearing this really, really cool Wayland Yutani shirt.
Cute.
You can grab one of these at nerdriot.shop. It's I think my favorite shirt that they've
I like
made this year.
I like the alien shirt that has the egg and the power loader.
Ooh, that one's cool
has
too.
The
The alien stuff is good.
All our alien. I think we haven't missed on the alien shirts.
Yeah, they're all really, really good. So grab one of those. They make a really great gift as we're headed closer to the holiday season.
And then you can double it. You can still wear it for Predator Badlands.
Yeah, you could. They're all connected now. Yeah,
They're all connected now. This movie especially was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, we'll just put Wayland Yutani everywhere on this. A big thanks to Brian Kim for producing and editing this episode. And again, be sure to subscribe everywhere we are, and we really appreciate all y'all. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.